Go.
Hello, 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 everybody, and welcome back to Florida Kids Play Video Games. I'm Sarah Laporta.
And I'm Alex.
And today is our episode on, I believe it's Shovel Knight, yes?
Yes.
And that's your favorite game series at the moment, right?
Yes, that is one of my current favorite games. I have just recently defeated King of Cards.
And that one's the fourth campaign, I believe?
It is the fourth campaign.
So I'm coming into this mostly blind. What's Shovel Knight all about?
It's about a guy. He's a knight and he has a shovel.
Very descriptive.
And he's trying to save his friend Shield Knight.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's the gameplay like? Give me the lowdown here.
I personally found the gameplay to work like the Mega Man games did, where it has these stages, but then the bosses are like the main highlight of the stage, and each stage brings in a new feature.
So like it's like a platformer boss rush sort of situation.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
There are
like, is it like Mega Man in the sense where like you defeat someone new and you get like a new ability or something? Like what?
I mean, you have the option to, but you don't have to.
Okay.
Because you can get the relics, but you can also just say no.
And relics do like, they're like new abilities and whatever?
Yeah.
Okay.
There are a total of, I believe, 8 main knights that you fight. And then the final 2 bosses, which I'm counting as the same because they're the same person, which is the Enchantress fight.
Okay.
That
one's just like 2 separate phases, I'm assuming.
Well, you have to go through a full health bar on each stage, but yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
There is Spectre Knight, Propeller Knight, Mole Knight, Tinker Knight, Treasure Knight, Polar Knight, Plague Knight, and if you're counting Phantom Striker, then he is also a character. Because he was the replacement for Spectre Knight and Spectre of Torment.
Okay. So, from what I've seen, the whole thing's like 8-bit graphics, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
It's pretty cool.
So the game does a very good job of teaching you how to play it and how to get good at it. Without just flat out telling you how to do things.
Oh, that's always good.
For example, in the first level of the game, which is the Plains,
So you're talking about the original Shovel Knight right here at the moment?
Shovel Knight, Shovel of Hope. There's one room, I'm looking for it now. Alright, well anyway, it's a room and it has these, I want to say 3 sand blocks that are straight down and they lead into the next part of the room that lets you leave that room. So you have to get through those stone blocks in some way. But at first you don't have a way to do that unless you've played the game already and you already know how to do it. You'll just kind of try everything and it gets you to eventually do the shovel drop that you need to do.
So, like, you can get new abilities and go back to old areas and grab new stuff.
Well,
That sort of situation.
So you have you have like the basic abilities from the start of the game.
Okay.
You just learn about them over time.
Oh, so you know everything already, you just learn how to use them better
Yeah.
later on.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Except for relics. Relics are unlockable.
So are relics like passive abilities, or do you use them?
They're like items, essentially.
Okay.
Some relics include the flare wand, the dust knucklers, and the war horn.
Okay.
And there's always a different use for every item.
Okay.
And you can like beat parts of a level like 10 times easier or faster by using a relic rather than the intended way to do it.
Oh, okay. So they're just there to make it easier, really.
Some of them.
Give you new ways to do things.
Yeah. Like the phase locket, personally, I feel like they should make it, slightly worse.
Oh.
Like, just make the duration a little shorter so that...
You think it's a little over?
Well, yeah, because you get, 3 seconds of invincibility for only, I think, 4 magic.
Man.
Which at first may sound not great, but then you realize that 3 seconds is a lot for a single attack.
Yeah. So there's multiple campaigns to this, right?
Yes, so there are 4 main campaigns plus Showdown, which I don't know if you can really count as a real campaign.
We played that one, right? It's the fighting game?
Yes.
Okay.
Because it has almost a story mode. It's not quite.
Oh.
There's no actual story other than destroy the big mirror from that one game.
So it's like the story mode for some of the earlier Smash Bros. Games. You just kind of do it.
Yeah. Personally, I find Showdown to be particularly fun just because I've played a lot of fighting games like Smash Brothers and Rivals of Aether.
That mode is very fun. I do agree with you on that one.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say it's the best. One of the good parts about Shovel Knight is when you do play another campaign, it's almost like a completely different experience.
Oh.
The levels are sometimes completely formatted differently. Of course, not in Plague of Shadows. They were almost the exact same as in Shovel of Hope, which was a small mistake given the fact that you can skip whole parts of levels.
Well, isn't that only the second campaign?
Yes, it is only the second campaign.
Well, they were still learning, so
Yeah.
can't really fault them for that.
Now, the way that Shovel Knight formats its gameplay as opposed to Mega Man is the fact that in Mega Man, you can do the levels in any order, and each level ability that you unlock is stronger against a certain other level.
Yeah.
But in Shovel Knight, at least in Plague of Shadows and Shovel of Hope and kind of King of Cards, so you have the option to do them in a different order, but each level is unlocked progressively so that you're not going to like the hardest level.
So it's slightly more linear.
Yeah, but it still works in the same way where you can do it in a different order if you please.
Okay.
Other than Spectre of Torment, and Spectre of Torment, you can do it in any order you want.
Okay, so this is your favorite game series. Is there anything that really like stands out with it beyond other games that you play and enjoy and whatever?
It was one of the first platformers I like really enjoyed.
Okay.
Cause I was never like super into like Sonic or Mario. Simply because it focused very heavily on the platforming.
Yeah, they were like some of the very first platformers, so it kind of made sense.
Yeah. And like even the newer ones, while they don't like completely focus on platforming as much, they still focus on it a large part of the time. But I like how Shovel Knight does have the platforming throughout pretty much the whole game, but they add these enemies like in between that you have to use different techniques to beat.
Do you think they have a good balance between the combat and the platforming?
In my personal opinion, I would say yes.
Okay.
Just because the combat takes place within the platforming, which on one hand makes the platforming harder, but it also makes the combat harder because you have to do that platforming. A good example of this is on Treasure Knight's stage, the anglerfish fight. He's like the mid-level mini-boss.
Okay.
So his fight is, for the first like 3/4, you can't do any damage. But he's shooting like these fish at you, and you have to do platforming to be able to fight him, because you have to make it to the end of like a little platforming segment while he's shooting the fish at you, and if you touch the ground, you die.
Okay.
And I think that the platforming just kind of strengthens the combat.
You think it's a good combination?
Yeah.
I get that.
And especially Tinker Knight's fight. At least in Spectre of Torment, I can't quite remember if Plague of Shadows had the platforming bit while he was in the mech. But in Tinker Knight's fight, and at least Spectre of Torment, there's like this big platforming bit that you have to do while you're fighting the giant mech in the background.
I think I've seen footage of this.
Yes, you probably have. It is...
Is that the part where he's shooting missiles at you and you gotta jump on the missiles to get onto him?
Yes.
Okay.
Although they do this quite poorly in Plague of Shadows because you can just launch yourself up.
Well, you know.
Yeah, I understand. But
Figuring out how to do stuff.
yeah. Now, one of the main features of Shovel Knight is the relics, arcanas, curios, and heirlooms. That's what they're called. which I previously said are like the items, and they're not necessary, but they're a fun addition to the game.
Okay.
They keep it interesting by making new ways to beat a level.
Okay.
Um,
Are there like more platforming oriented ones, more combat oriented ones? Like,
so like the propeller,
what's the variety here?
it's kind of mixed.
Okay.
So a good example is the propeller dagger, because it can be used as combat, but it's also used a good amount of the time as platforming. Same with the dust knucklers.
Okay.
Because the dust knucklers, they essentially allow you to fly as long as there's sand. But they also work as a good attack. Whereas something like the, I want to say it's the heart hammer. The heart hammer is an attacking weapon, but it heals you, which is a good kind of change from Spectre of Torment and Shovel of Hope, where Shovel of Hope just had the phase locket and you could just be invulnerable for a little bit. And Spectre of Torment had the Will Skull, which allowed you to heal. The Heart Hammer you had to actually hit your enemy to get the health.
And sorry for interrupting you here,
What's up?
but in each of the different campaigns, you play as a different character, right?
Yes.
Okay. You can continue.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, so in every campaign you do play as a different character. The first game, Shovel of Hope, you play as Shovel Knight. And the second game, Plague of Shadows, which takes place at the same time as Shovel of Hope, you play as Plague Knight, who is my personal favorite character.
Okay.
And the third campaign, Spectre of Torment, which was actually the first Shovel Knight game I played, you play as Spectre Knight, which takes place as a prequel to Shovel of Hope and Plague of Shadows.
I suppose a prequel isn't a horrible place to start.
Well, the main issue is that I started at the prequel, not the prequel to the prequel.
Oh. Why are there so many prequels?
King of Cards is the prequel to the prequel, which takes place before Spectre of Torment. And it focuses a lot more on the Joustus card game that you play.
Mm-hmm.
And they make the levels a lot shorter. King of Cards was a lot different than any of the other Shovel Knight games.
It's the most different.
Yeah. For example, there's only 3 main bosses. Unless you count the Joustus fights, in which case I think there's like 6 in all? Something like that.
Did you still enjoy that one as much as the other ones?
Yeah. I definitely found the levels a little harder.
Okay.
Because there was only 1 checkpoint per level, except on the rare occasion where it was a longer level and there was 2. But I think I liked it because you had a little more freedom. Once you beat the game, you could continue playing if you hadn't completed every level, because there's some optional levels.
Okay.
So yeah. You have any more questions?
I don't think so.
Okay.
So, would you recommend this game to everybody?
I would recommend this game. My personal rating is 10 out of 10.
Oh, that's impressive.
I mean, yeah, it's the best game I've ever played.
Well, that's some high praise there.
Yeah.
So, is it trivia time?
I thought we should move on to our general news section.
News before trivia first?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Works for me. What you
Uh,
got?
So, I don't have a ton because I didn't do a lot of research before this because I forgot to. But one piece of news I think you should cover.
Oh, really?
Yes, it is about the new Animal Crossing event that is coming out on the 27th, so pretty soon.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in 3 days, I think. Just a sec, I'll double check.
And
Yep, it's the 22nd.
I'm assuming you are talking about the bug off?
Yep.
Yes, all of the villagers on my island are very excited about it.
Yeah.
And I've only played 2 Animal Crossing games before this. But I remember the bug off being, it's either about 2 things. I have forgotten, it has been a while.
Okay.
I believe the bug off is like the fishing tourney, in which you compete to catch the biggest bugs. But if not, then it's about catching the most bugs.
Okay.
I recently bought a timer on my Animal Crossing island so I could practice doing this in a short time period, so...
Okay.
Yes, all of the animals on my island are very excited about this, and kind of related to that, I actually got a new villager on my island recently.
Oh, who are they?
His name is Kabuki. He is a cat. Look him up. He's great.
Okay. Oh, okay, yeah, he is pretty interesting.
Yeah. You got anything else for us?
There is a bit more. Obviously, Star Wars Squadrons was recently announced, and we got the gameplay footage.
Nice, nice.
Sarah, have you seen the trailer and gameplay footage?
I have not. Do you want to send it to me?
Yeah, just a sec.
And I will give it a quick look-see.
Yeah.
Now, as we were discussing before we were recording, the Pokemon DLC came out just a little while ago.
Yes, it did. There's recently been a lot of just like stuff going on with it. I think it's gonna be good.
I have played through Isle of Armor already.
I have not. I have not gotten to DLC yet.
That's okay. The pass I got Isle of Armor with will also come with Crown Tundra when that comes out.
Okay.
So, I've done Isle of Armor. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of cool new Pokemon. I can trade you a couple later if you'd like.
Okay.
It's just like some older Pokemon, and I get some new haircuts and fashion things. So that's cool.
Yeah. I know that there is a new legendary in Isle of Armor, correct?
Well, I know there's a couple of different forms for legendaries, but which one do you speak of?
So I am talking about, what's his name? Crud, I just forgot it.
Is it a fighting type Pokemon that you end up getting for free?
It's Urshifu, yeah.
Yes, you end up getting its pre-evolution for free, and then you have to go through different towers for training.
Yeah.
I chose the Tower of Seas.
Okay.
There are 2 separate towers. It's the Tower of Seas and the Tower of Darkness.
Ooh.
I went for the Tower of Seas.
Okay.
When fighting people on this particular island, Bisharp came in clutch.
Okay.
Because on Shield, the main person, your main rival here, his name is Avery. He mostly has psychic type Pokemon.
I have seen a little bit of gameplay, and and from what I've seen, he is pretty annoying.
Oh yes, he is. Bisharp came in clutch and just destroyed his team, though. So
Yeah.
and you get the option to choose between Squirtle and Bulbasaur. I chose Bulbasaur, so I have Gigantamax Venusaur now.
I think you know who I'm picking.
Probably. And I also had the option to make some Max soup and choose one of my other Pokemon to be able to Gigantamax. My Inteleon can Gigantamax now. Next battle, you're gonna get destroyed.
Oh, well, when I get the DLC, I'll get the Max Soup too, and I'll put it on my Tox.
We're gonna fight each other.
Yeah. There's actually more Pokemon news.
So much.
The Pokemon Unite trailer has come out.
I did see an article about that. Bless you.
Thank you.
I recall seeing that Pokemon Unite. Is that the one that's going to be that massive online battle arena thing?
I believe so. I have not seen the trailer yet. Haven't even looked at the article yet. I just
Oh no, what happened?
I don't know. I think that the article I went into had a pre-playing ad or something.
Oh.
Don't worry, I'll just cut that out.
It looks pretty interesting. I don't know what it's all about though.
Yeah. I have no idea. It'll be exciting to see more.
There's a different Pokemon spin-off game that came out called Pokemon Cafe Mix. It came out like an hour ago.
Oh. Yeah. I have not seen it yet.
At the time of recording, it came out an hour ago.
Yeah.
I've played it. It's your typical puzzle game fare, I suppose.
Okay. Just a sec.
Graphics are nice though.
Oh, okay. So
It's pretty cute.
So it's on what, Switch?
Yeah, Pokemon Cafe Mix is on Switch.
Okay.
For free.
Oh, okay then.
Graphics are cute. It's got that going for it at least.
Yeah. I know I had something else. Oh yeah. The recent rise of a game called Valorant. Sarah.
I have not heard of this.
Ah, you have not. So,
Hold on.
think if you mixed Overwatch and CSGO.
Let's see. According to Wikipedia, it's a free-to-play multiplayer tactical first-person shooter developed and published by Riot Games for Microsoft Windows.
I think that's right.
It's a mouthful.
I personally have not gotten into Valorant.
With decent reviews.
Yeah, a lot of... I've heard a lot of good things about it. I just haven't gotten into it.
Okay, wow.
I think I might try it at some point.
I have found the epitome of the internet in these reviews.
Ah.
These reviews are either 5-star or 1-star. There's no in between.
Okay,
That's
that
the
is
internet
kind of
for
funny.
you, I guess.
Yeah. Well,
And I think that's really all we got for news today, huh?
I think so.
Awful slow news day, I suppose.
Yeah.
So,
I've
is it
been-
trivia time?
Yes. Do you have any?
Trivia time?
Yeah.
Trivia
So, do you have any question or like trivia questions for me about Shovel Knight?
As I said, I'm going into this mostly blind, so
Okay.
it's all on you.
Who is, or rather, who are the first 2 bosses in the game. And Shovel Knight, Shovel of Hope.
Dang. That's a hard one.
I can hear you looking it up, Sarah.
What? I'm doing nothing of the sort.
Oh my gosh. Well, the answer is Spectre Knight and King Knight.
Yep, that's what it says.
Yup. Alright then. My second question is, what is like the main side quest in Shovel Knight Spectre of Torment?
You might have told me this one before. Is that the one where you have to collect all the red skulls for the guy?
You were so close.
No.
You do have to collect red skulls for red, but you don't necessarily have to get all of them. Some of them, so in every game, 1 red skull that you can find becomes a red skull with a special sprite and when you collect that red skull, you can give it to Red and you can buy something with it. But it turns out that Red Skull is the skull of the...
Spoilers.
Oh yeah. Spoiler warning. Skip if you don't want to hear it. It turns out that, well, actually, they probably already know because he says it at the beginning of the game.
Spoilers!
Anyway, the skull is the skull of the skeleton that he loves.
Ooh, skeleton romance.
Ooh. And at the beginning of the game, when you first talk to him, he tells you why he wants the red skulls for the curios.
Okay.
And it's because he wants to find the skull of the skeleton that he loves.
Ooh,
so
skeleton romance.
So that she can come back. And then when you find the red skull, there's this really weird dance scene that's almost as weird as the Triple King scene. But yeah.
Do I want to know what that is?
I feel like you do. Just look it up after we finish recording. My last question.
Okay.
What is the name of the bad guy in every Shovel Knight game except for King of Cards, unless you're counting her as an enemy through association?
Isn't that the Enchantress person?
Yes, the Enchantress.
Do. I got it.
Yay, you got one question right.
I did a good job.
Given the fact that you've never actually played the games, yeah, I'd say you did a pretty good job.
So today we learned about knights wielding shovels, fighting Enchantress people, and skeleton romance.
Yup. It's pretty much a good summary.
And I'm assuming the next episode is going to be my favorite game episode, the Ace Attorney series.
Yup, the next episode is on Ace Attorney, and That will be very hard to answer trivia questions for.
Haha, prepared for obscure trivia and me probably being kind of obsessive.
Yes. But yeah, so that's all we have.
And we will see you guys
Next time.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.